Men, the most dangerous statements on first dates aren't the obvious warnings you'd immediately recognize. They're the comments that sound cute, charming, or endearing, the ones that make you smile instead of making you think. These seemingly innocent remarks fly under your radar completely because they're wrapped in playful energy or delivered with a sweet tone that disarms your judgment. Before we start, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and drop a comment saying, "I missed it," if you've ever thought a comment was cute, only to realize later it was a warning sign. Your engagement helps other men recognize what they're actually hearing. Comment 1. I'm definitely the fun one in my friend group. When she playfully tells you she's the fun friend, the wild one, or the one her friends can't control, it sounds cute and spontaneous. Most men hear this as her being adventurous, entertaining, or full of life. It's actually revealing she's the dramatic one, the impulsive one who creates chaos, or the one who prioritizes excitement over stability and responsibility. What this actually reveals? This comment reveals she identifies with being entertaining chaos rather than reliable substance. Women who need to establish the fun one are telling you that drama, impulsiveness, and attention-seeking behavior are core to their identity. They're not occasionally spontaneous. They're consistently chaotic because that's how they get validation and define themselves. Notice what she means by fun. If her examples involve excessive drinking, risky decisions, dramatic situations, or creating chaos in group settings, she's not adventurous. She's impulsive and lacks judgment. If being fun means she's the center of attention through outrageous behavior, she needs external validation through performance and will create drama to maintain that role. Watch whether her friends actually seem to enable or try to manage this. If she laughs about friends trying to control her or keep her from making bad decisions, she's revealing pattern behavior where people close to her recognize she has poor judgment. If her friends celebrate her wildness, she's surrounded by people who encourage dysfunction rather than holding her accountable. Pay attention to whether stability or responsibility factor into her identity at all. If her entire self-concept centers on being fun, spontaneous, or wild with no mention of reliability, consistency, or adult responsibilities, she hasn't developed the character needed for healthy relationships. She's still operating from adolescent identity centered on entertainment value. Observe how she expects you to respond to this information. If she's watching to see if you find it appealing or exciting, she's screening whether you'll enable her chaotic patterns or whether you'll expect mature behavior. Your positive response tells her you'll accept drama as personality rather than expecting emotional regulation and stability. Comment 2. I get jealous really easily. It's kind of cute though. When she admits she gets jealous but frames it as endearing, quirky, or evidence of how much she cares, most men find it flattering or sweet initially. It's actually a direct warning about controlling behavior, insecurity, and possessiveness that will make your life exhausting as she monitors your interactions with other women and creates conflict over imagined threats. What this actually reveals. This comment reveals she has deep insecurity that manifests as jealousy, and she's already framing it as something you should accept rather than a problem she needs to work on. Women who warn about jealousy while calling it cute are telling you they'll be possessive, controlling, and suspicious, but they've decided this is endearing evidence of affection rather than toxic behavior requiring therapy. Notice how she frames the jealousy. If she presents it as proof she cares deeply or gets attached easily, she's romanticizing possessiveness as love. If she seems almost proud of being jealous, she views it as evidence of passion rather than recognizing it as insecurity. Either framing predicts she'll justify controlling behavior as caring about you. Watch what triggers she mentions. If she gets jealous over you talking to other women, having female friends, or even liking social media posts, she has extreme insecurity that will restrict your normal social interactions. If she mentions getting jealous over exes or your past, she'll interrogate you about previous relationships and make you responsible for managing her feelings about your history. Pay attention to how she expects you to manage her jealousy. If she frames it as something you'll need to accommodate by limiting interactions with other women, she's establishing that her insecurity becomes your responsibility. If she expects reassurance whenever she feels jealous, you'll spend the relationship managing her emotions rather than maintaining healthy boundaries. Observe whether she acknowledges jealousy as a problem or just a trait. If she recognizes it's something she's working on, at least there's self-awareness. If she presents it as unchangeable personality quirk you'll need to accept, she's decided her jealousy is your problem to accommodate rather than her issue to address through personal growth. Why this is a red flag? This comment is a red flag because jealousy in relationships creates constant conflict, restriction of healthy friendships, and exhausting emotional labor managing her insecurity. Women who warn about jealousy, while framing it as cute, will monitor your phone, question your whereabouts, create drama about female co-workers, and make you responsible for constantly proving you're not doing anything wrong. The cuteness disappears quickly when you're living with constant suspicion and control. Comment 3. I'm totally a daddy's girl. When she mentions being daddy's girl, it sounds sweet and like she has a good relationship with her father. Most men take it as positive family connection. It's actually revealing she's been spoiled, expects men to treat her the way her father did with princess treatment, or she has unhealthy dynamic with her father that's created unrealistic expectations about how men should cater to her. What this actually reveals? This comment reveals she's been conditioned to expect special treatment, accommodation, and provision from men without reciprocal responsibility. Women who identify as daddy's girls are often telling you they've been given everything they wanted without earning it, and they expect romantic partners to continue that dynamic where their needs are prioritized and their wants are funded. Notice how she describes the relationship with her father. If it's all about how he spoils her, gives her what she wants, or treats her like a princess, she expects you to continue that pattern. If she seems proud that her dad can't say no to her, she's revealing manipulative patterns where she's learned to get what she wants through being his little girl. Watch what she says about her father's involvement in her life. If he's still heavily involved in decisions, funding aspects of her lifestyle, or she consults him about everything, she hasn't developed independence from her father. You'll be competing with his influence and expectations, and she'll use his approval or disapproval as leverage in your relationship. Pay attention to whether she mentions what she gives back to family relationships or only what she receives. If it's all about how her family treats her, with no mention of how she contributes or supports them, she has consumer mentality about relationships where she expects to receive without reciprocating. Observe how she talks about her father's opinion of men she dates. If she emphasizes that dad's approval matters or mentions that previous partners didn't meet his standards, you're being evaluated partially based on whether you measure up to father's expectations. If her dad is overly protective or controlling, she's been conditioned to accept male control as love. Comment 4. My ex was obsessed with me. He still texts me all the time. When she mentions her ex still contacts her frequently or seems unable to move on, framed as him being obsessed or unable to let go, it sounds like evidence she's desirable and he can't get over her. It's actually revealing she maintains contact with exes for validation, keeps backup options available, or creates situations where past partners remain emotionally entangled with her because she needs that attention. What this actually reveals? This comment reveals she either maintains inappropriate contact with exes for ego validation, hasn't created proper boundaries to allow past relationships to end cleanly, or she's exaggerating or encouraging ex behavior to make herself seem more desirable to you. Women who brag about exes still pursuing them are showing you they value male attention more than relationship boundaries. Notice how she frames his continued contact. If she presents herself as victim of unwanted attention, but continues responding or engaging, she's maintaining the dynamic because she wants the validation. If she seems proud that he can't move on, she's getting ego boost from his continued pursuit and will likely keep that door open for attention supply. Watch whether she shows you messages or evidence. If she volunteers showing you texts from him, she's deliberately using his attention to make you jealous or to demonstrate her value through other men wanting her. This predicts she'll use male attention strategically throughout your relationship to keep you competing or prove her desirability. Pay attention to what she's done to stop the contact. If she hasn't blocked him, told him clearly to stop, or created firm boundaries, she's allowing it to continue because she wants it to continue. If she has clear boundaries and he's genuinely harassing her, she wouldn't frame it as him being obsessed. She'd frame it as concerning or problematic. Observe whether she mentions multiple exes or orbiters who won't leave her alone. If there's a pattern of men who supposedly can't get over her, either she's selecting extremely insecure partners or she's maintaining these connections deliberately. Either way, you're entering situation with competition from men she's keeping emotionally engaged. Comment 5. I'm really close with my ex's family. We're still like family. When she mentions maintaining close relationships with her ex's family, attending their events, or staying connected with his relatives, it sounds mature and like she values relationships. It's actually revealing she hasn't created clean separation from past relationships, remains emotionally entangled with her ex's world, or values those connections more than she'll value appropriate boundaries with you. What this actually reveals: this comment reveals she can't create proper endings to relationships and remains embedded in her ex's life through family connections. Women who maintain close relationships with ex's families are either not fully over the relationship, unwilling to give up resources or status those connections provide, or have such poor boundaries they don't recognize that staying enmeshed with an ex's family prevents both people from fully moving on. Notice how she justifies maintaining these relationships. If she emphasizes how close she became to his family, or how they consider her part of the family, she's revealing she's more invested in maintaining those connections than in respecting that most new partners would be uncomfortable with this level of continued involvement with an ex's world. Watch whether she mentions the ex being present at family events she attends. If she's going to his family gatherings where he's also present, she's maintaining regular contact with him through family connection. If she sees family members separately, it's less concerning, but still shows she's prioritizing those relationships over creating space for new partnership. Pay attention to frequency and intimacy of contact. If she's texting his mother regularly, having dinners with his siblings, or attending major family events, these aren't distant polite connections. These are active relationships that keep her enmeshed in her ex's world. The more frequent and intimate the contact, the less room she's created for moving forward. Observe whether she expects you to be comfortable with this or acknowledges it might be challenging. If she presents it as non-negotiable or something you simply need to accept, she's prioritizing connections with her ex's family over your comfort. If she understands it's unusual and shows willingness to adjust boundaries, there's at least awareness.